Thank you. Okay, so fluency that you are able to speak about anything. You have the words, your grammar is okay, and you have ideas. Grammar, vocabulary, and ideas. That's the fluency. You can speak about communication, you can speak about technology, you can like start conversation with any person about anything. That's fluent. And then you're accuracy. Some people say accuracy. Now, the stress is accuracy. So accuracy, that you are using your language accurately. Your grammar and your vocabulary, okay? Like, if I'm speaking about a small house, like somewhere, it's not like, let's say, in the countryside, a small house in the countryside. We do not say that's a house, we say that's a cottage. Cottage. But we know that it's a kuch, but it's not like only kuch. It's like a small house in the countryside, that we say cottage. So you have to use the exact word, okay? And we will move on when we come to the writing section. We will have something about accuracy. And then, okay, so there is something for every test. We say the construct, the construction, the base of the test. What does the test test? Does it test your skill? Does it test your ability? Does it test your knowledge? IELTS tests all of them. It tests your skill of understanding, of expressing, we say, of communicating. Communicating is writing and speaking about the idea. So can you express your idea? Can you be logical? Can you be organized? Okay? And then the ability. The ability of finding answers. The ability of using your language. The ability of using your grammar correctly. And then knowledge. Sometimes they test you to write about something. Sometimes you're lucky, you know much about. Sometimes
you know nothing.
You're not lucky at all, you know nothing about. Again, the reading. Again, the speaking. Again, the listening. Sometimes you listen to people talking about something, you don't know the vocabulary. So what you're doing is pray. Pray, that's it. Okay, so, and now we're going to talk about the types and the subtests, the criteria, and then the procedure. Alright? Okay? So let's talk about the types. We have the academic, and we have the general. Okay? Called general training. That's what we call it. The academic is for those who wish to study at undergraduate or postgraduate college or after college levels, and for those seeking a professional registration when you start to register in terms of being like a teacher, a lecturer at university, something professional. Professional is not like very skillful, no, it's about profession, a job. Or general, for those who like to travel or to study at the middle school, high school, secondary school, like to work, you need to get the general. Okay, like for the visa and for such things. Alright, let's see now how many skills. They are 4, of course. How long is each one? The listening is for 30 minutes, more or less. More or less, 30 minutes. How many questions? We say items. In IELTS, we don't say questions. The academic word is items. Okay, how many? 40. How many sections? 4. Are they different? Are they the same?
The same.
The same.
Sectional items.
I mean, the sections.
Of course, the
Sections, you're going to have maybe...
not the same.
No.
Okay, so you know the difference? You will know the difference. Just wait. Then, okay. The listening is the same for the general and the academic. Let's see the reading. Now, for the academic and the general, 3 sections, we say 3 passages, and 40 questions. How long is it? 1 hour.
Yeah.
In other words, 60 minutes. Okay. 60 minutes, not all for answering, because you have to transfer your answers. You know that. We will come to it later on. And then we have the speaking, and the writing. So the writing 2 tasks. You know the first task? What is it? Alright. And how long is the test? 1 hour. Not 6 minutes, of course. Okay. Then you have the speaking, 3 parts. That's the sequence. Listening, reading, writing. That's on 1 day. 1 day. The speaking is on another day. It might be before or after. That's the heading for me. You do the listening, reading, and writing. And you imagine now, writing is like you say, the most process where your mind works much. And it's the third one, the last one. It will be the listening, then the reading, then the writing. It's supposed to be the first. No, I'm ready, I can't write. But imagine now, you are eating, they bring you zumita, then they bring you kuskusai, and like now I'm full, Then they bring you something you love.
Yeah.
Like
Really delicious.
barbecue, like shwa or asban. Said, I want to eat, but I
It's not
have
enough
no
space.
place. No more.
Take it home.
So that's the thing. If they do the writing first or the reading, then they end up with listening. That's fine, but I don't know what's wrong. Okay, now we come to the sub-test, the procedure, and then we will know the differences between the academic and the general. Okay, so the first one is we're going to have the listening. Okay. Can you see it well? You see it? Okay, great. So, you see here is a bit pale and it's getting dark this way. And that's the challenge. I do not say the difficulty. I do not say the difficulty is like a challenge. Can you find the answers? That's the thing. Okay, so the first section is social, the context, the conversation. How many people are talking there? A dialogue. 2 people. 2 people that are using like this simple language, and they are talking about something related to the student life, like to say the accommodation or housing or something like this, registration, admission, something related to this. Sometimes trips, okay, or activities, occasions. Okay, so people talking, like, all right. Then, like, more or less, there are 10 items. When you say 10 items, 10 questions, more or less. It's not always like 10, but more or less there are 10 items. Then you move to the section 2. By the way, we will have the procedure second by second, but afterwards. Then we have section 2. Section 2 is again, you see the challenge?
Yeah.
Is a bit now,
It's
more.
harder.
A bit, still a bit, by the way. Again, the language is like social, simple English. Simple English. So you should not lose any mark in here. You should not. Because like the language is
Still in the safe
simple.
side.
The questions are somehow up to your level. Then again, 10 items or 10 questions. Section 3, now
Done.
it's getting red actually. It's getting really red. Academic. And it's not only academic. Sometimes, at least, you say, more or less, there are 3 people here. 3, 4 people talking. Like in a meeting, discussing something. But the language they are going to use is
Academic.
formal, academic. Okay? Do not expect to understand every single thing. Because what's interesting about academic language, it is not common. Okay. Do you know the word pivotal? Pivotal. I don't have a mark. P-I-V-O-T-L. Pivotal. P-I-V-O-T-E-L. Pivotal. Pivotal means important. Do you believe it?
Another word.
Cardinal?
Valuable. What's important?
Valuable? Something else. Something else. Valuable, something important according to your emotions.
Yeah.
Or to the value, the price. Okay? But academic language is not emotional. We call these adjectives opinionated. Opinionated means opinion. When you say, yeah, it is good, when you speak or write, do not use good. Good is opinion. Nice is opinion. Amazing is opinion. Beautiful is like mobile phones is a good product of technology. What do you mean good? Good. Amazing. What do you mean amazing? I do not care about your impression. I do not care about your feeling. I care about facts. Science. Knowledge in here. But if you say useful, let's say useful. Okay, so later on you will tell me what the uses are. Alright? More or less 10 items that we sorry. Absolutely red. Absolutely red in here. Monologue. It's a lecture or a lesson. 10 questions. Some people, they love this part. Some people now, they say, no, this is not mine. Some people, they enjoy listening. Females, they've got the skill. Females. Because they watch TV a lot. And when you tell a female, because they are used to the summary. Like she's been watching a film for an hour or some program for an hour. And when you ask the female what happened, she tells you everything. She summarizes everything. Like 2 minutes. That's it. You've been watching an hour, just like 2 minutes, that will happen. So some people, they love this. Okay, so the listening test is where you have 30 minutes, more or less. Answer as you listen. 30 minutes, more or less. And then you have 10 minutes. They tell you now you have 10 minutes to transfer your answers into the answer sheet. You will have a question booklet, papers with question. So that's not marked. That's not important at all. Even if you'd like to write it in Arabic, write. What's the important thing is the answer sheet. That's where the marks are. But for the questions booklet, no, not necessarily. Like 9 papers, 8 papers, it's up to you. You know the question booklet. All right. Any questions, guys? So far, it's like a challenge. Not to worry about it. It's a challenge. You know, like I say, like sometimes IELTS is being there to be cheated because you can't cheat IELTS. You can. You know, like when you say regulations and laws, rules, people say rules are there because they can be broken. Alright? So even IELTS is not that difficult thing when you understand what you should be doing. Okay. Let's see now the procedure of the exam. First, you're going to listen to mostly a lady. A lady. She will tell you the context, the setting of the conversation, or the setting of what you're going to listen to. You're going to listen to a student willing to register for the academic year. This is very important. Why? I should know what is going on, right? So I should know the context. I should know the situation. Why? Because the mind will record every word you know about the topic. You will put yourself in the situation. You understand my point? It's very important to listen to the introduction. But when she tells you, when she starts telling, and now listen and answer questions from blah blah blah, no. You should, the things that before you start listening, you should know how many questions you're going to listen to. What are the questions that you are going to try to answer? Okay? Is it from 1 to 6? 1 to 5? 16 to 21? Alright? This is very important. Because sometimes you keep listening and it's like from 1, let's say, to 6, and you answered from 1 to 4. You missed 5 and 6. You think that's just 4 questions. No, you need to listen to the context, to the situation, you have to understand, and then you should know how many questions you're going to answer. Okay, so they give you 30 minutes to read questions from 1 to blah blah blah, or from blah 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 to blah blah blah, okay? That's preparing, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And then they give you now, okay, now listen and answer. That's L and A, listen and answer. Then, it's like the section is divided into 2 subsections. This is the first section, and this is the second. Okay? And that's the same procedure for the first, second, and the third sections. The same. They are divided into 2 sections. The fourth one, not yet. We will not discuss it yet. So they give you 30 seconds and then 30 seconds to prepare for the second part. Okay? Let's imagine now, let's say that from you're going to listen, read the questions from 1 to 5. Yeah, so you prepare them, then listen and answer. Then they ask you to listen to the read the questions from 6 to 10, then listen and answer. Then they give you 30 seconds to check. Are you going to check? What are you going to check? Any ideas? Now you.
Listening. What are you going to check?
Yeah. So you have answered. You have written some words. Okay. So what are you going to check? The spelling.
Yeah.
So the spelling. When you're going to write in the answer sheet, spelling is not important. And actually, you should not write incorrect spelling in here. Like, for example, when you say technology, in listening, are you serious that you're going to write this long word, technology? Just write tech. And then in the answer sheet, enjoy your handwriting. Write technology with the correct spelling. The answer sheet is the most important thing, as we say. Here, write short forms. Where's the chat language? As short as you can, huh? So that's the way when you write on the questions booklet, okay? The only thing that you need to do for the above part, okay, that if you missed a question, try to answer the way it is. If you missed a question, okay, before you go to the next section, try to write an answer. Why? Because now you still have an idea. You still can remember. Alright? So you write something. Do not leave it at the end of the test and, okay, I can remember. Okay, you can, but please do not show off on the exam. Out of the exam, you have to be, you have to answer by the book. Rules we have. Okay, so the 30 seconds, if you missed a question, okay, try to answer. And then, if you haven't missed any question, move to the second section immediately. Do not check. Okay? Then you add the time left here to the 30 seconds. So 30 seconds, imagine I didn't miss any question, so I have now 1 minute to prepare. Okay? That's the good thing. If you haven't missed any question, immediately ignore the audio. Ignore the audio. Ignore everything and go to section 2. Okay? There is something very interesting you have more than 30 seconds. Because actually, you will end up finding the answers before 10 seconds of the end of the audio. If you write the last answer and then you keep listening, you will not find any more, right? Imagine now we have 10 questions here, okay? And I answered all of them. Shall I keep listening? I answered all of them. And I am sure this is the end of the answers. Shall I keep listening? What are you listening to? There's no use. There's not important. You understand my point? This is dumb, actually. This is stupid. They might say something. Say what? You have answered all the questions. But again, we have something else later on we might talk about. For the first section, they don't have this tricky style. When they say, okay, so let's meet on Saturday. Okay, well, I don't mind. And then after 3 seconds, oh, Saturday? It's my best friend's birthday party. Let's do it on next week.
Yeah.
For example, next Sunday. That's a tricky thing. Okay, but that's not common in section 1. The tricky things, they start from section 2. Okay, so now I can add some seconds to these 30 seconds to prepare the same procedure again. The same procedure. They will tell you the situation. Do you remember the dialogue and the monologue? Okay? Section 2, is it a monologue or dialogue?
No, yeah.
No. It's a monologue. Well, the first one was dialogue.
The first one is a dialogue,
Yeah.
and the second one is a monologue.
Yeah.
Monologue. Someone is going to speak about something, about the, we said activities, is going to speak about something. Alright? You will listen to, just prepare the questions. How you will prepare the questions? Something we will discuss later on. Alright, so you read the questions. It's written there, by the way. You know what questions you should read. And then you're going to listen. The good thing in listening, when you do the procedure, so why should I keep waiting? Why I don't check? Why I have extra time? Take your breath, relax. If I started not checking and immediately I prepared section 2, not all of the questions, okay, for example, the first half of the questions, and then I finished preparing, and I am ready, but section 2 hasn't started yet. Take your breath, relax. Your psychological status is very important, your condition, because sometimes you're stressed. The test, listening, difficult, you know, the obsession and all the positive ideas that you will have. Alright? So here you take your breath and you relax. The same procedure as we said, 30 seconds to prepare. They give you a number of items. You will read and then you will listen and answer. Then 30 seconds to check. It's up to you. If you have missed something from section 2, do it now. Or never. Do it now or never. It's not like never, but do it now. If you haven't missed anything, you go to section 3. And then you read the questions and you try to listen and answer. 30 seconds to prepare the section part. We said section 1, 2, and 3, they are divided in 2 parts, 2 sections. Here's a section, here's a section. A section, a section. Alright? Not 10 questions together. Sometimes 4, sometimes 5, sometimes 6 questions. But not 10, not 7, not 8. 2 sections, 2 subsections in each one. Section 4. First, it's a minute. You should know, because they are generous now. British people, they are not generous for free.
Because it's difficult.
Because, do you remember the red arrow, the challenge? The heat is at the pinnacle. Pinnacle means the top. The heat is like this. No, the temperature is so high. So here they give you 1 minute. It's difficult, right? Okay, I love to say it's challenging. Again here, if you have missed something from section 3, do it during these 30 seconds. But if you haven't missed anything, you add these 30 seconds to section 4. Okay, there are some strategies that they go with me, but they do not suit you. Alright? So for me, sometimes, if I have extra time from section 1 or 2 or 3, I go to number 4, by the way. I myself. Some people, they have supernatural abilities and skills. It's up to your skill, it's up to your individual differences. Alright? So here they give you 1 minute. If it's not divided, sometimes you're going to listen to the recording and you have only listen and answer. Only one. Not two subsections. Only one recording. Okay, it's not divided. Sometimes it's divided, sometimes it's not. Okay? There's no fixed procedure for section 4. Okay guys? So far so good? Yes. Please, when you transfer your answers, be careful of this. Do not be honest. Okay? If you missed something and you couldn't remember it, when you go to the answer sheet, please feel free to write anything. Write your name. Okay? You might be lucky and the answer is your name. Right? Please. So do not leave anything unanswered. Your handwriting. There is like a style of writing. You know, like the block and the sentence style and the initials, right? When you write the first letter of every word capital, that's a style. The other ones like small letters, right? The third one is when you write block. All letters are capital. Please do this. All letters capital. Because you do not know whether this word is a noun or a name. Is a word or a name. For example, yes, if we say that Chance Cafe. Now, chance, is it a name or a word? Just a noun. Is it a name of a place, of a person?
Yes, supposed to.
Now I gave you the context.
Chance Cafe.
So
Supposed to be the
the
name
Chance
of the cafe.
Cafe. Let's meet at the Chance Cafe. Chance Cafe.
It's the name of the cafe.
It's a name.
Yeah.
Now the C in chance,
Yeah.
is it capital or small?
Capital, of course.
So please, be safe and write all the letters capital. All letters, even of. Because when you follow style, you follow all the way. In IELTS, if you would like to trust and think high of yourself, I know this is an